Welcome back. Coming up, live and exclusive coverage of England's World Cup qualifier in Poland. Glenn Hoddle is our studio analyst, and our reporter in Poland is Jim Rosenthal.
Graham, you've had to change your team at the last minute. How much of an irritation is that to you?
Well, I mean, it's one of these things that happens. It happens at club level and it can happen at international level. Unfortunately, Lee Dixon has got a kidney infection, and late on this afternoon it was pretty obvious that he wasn't going to be able to take part in the game, and Dave Barsley's come in. That's the whole point of having a squad.
What would be your description of the team you're sending out here tonight?
Well, I mean, I think if it plays anything like they have done in the last 5 World Cup qualifying games, they'll be well capable of getting the result. Yeah, I mean, this is all the Polish supporters around here, a lot of atmosphere, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? Stepping into these arenas and getting the points that you require to get you to the United States.
Have you got any misgivings at all about giving Teddy Sheringham his debut in circumstances like this?
Now, what do you want me to say to that? No, none whatsoever. I mean, the point is that Teddy fitted into that situation, and I'm sure he'll do very, very well.
Gaz, you going to be wearing the mask tonight?
Yeah, I am going to wear. Lazio wanted us to wear it, and the doctor said, you know, precautionary reasons to wear it, so I'm going to wear it.
How much does it hamper you wearing that mask?
After about 15 minutes, I forget it's on, and then I get a little bit sweaty around the eyes and that. Apart from that, it's not too bad.
And they're saying that you're winking at your marker, or you're winking at the people that are marking you a bit strongly.
Well, it's probably just I cannot see that. You know, I tend to get that now when I start getting kicked a lot. So instead of like angry retaliating, I just smile or wink back, you know, and it starts to upset them a little bit more.
Gaz, you're a bit hot and cold, don't you? What's your mood tonight going into this one?
I'm roasting.
And the rest of the team?
Yeah, they're on fire.
Little word for the folks back home?
Yeah, sit down, relax. Look forward to a good game and hope it will do the business for you. Ciao.
A very relaxed mood, isn't it, Gaza?
Very much so, yeah. It's nice to see him when he's like that, because I think he performs well when he's in that mood.
Well, as Jim says, he does blow a bit hot and cold, and he is a key player for England.
Very much so, yeah. I mean, everything revolves through him, and it's nice to see that Graham's got a little diamond shape, giving him a free role to really get involved and hurt the opposing side, and he's been wanting to do that for years, and good luck to him. He's done that exceptionally well in the last few games. So
Carlton Palmer really has to do a lot of work around the back of him.
Yeah, I think Carlton's got to sit, especially away from home. You know, it'd be a disaster if England lose tonight, and Carlton's got to take a lot of responsibility there in just sitting and making sure that everything's nice and tight in front of the back four.
I think David Platt could be a key player for England, because having watched the Republic of Ireland play Poland, Andy Townsend made some great runs and got himself in terrific positions. I could see Platt doing that tonight.
Well, David does get into the penalty area very well, doesn't he? And I think possibly tonight he might not play right up front with Teddy Sheringham. I think in the Dutch game he played up there with Les Ferdinand, and I think he might come a little bit deeper and possibly look to make them late runs, yeah.
And Paul Ince, again, in that key area.
Well, Paul's been magnificent all season. I mean, he's got so much energy and so much talent on the ball now as well, that he must be getting better and better at international football. And I think he'll do a bit of both, a bit of sharing the workload with Palmer and also linking up with Gascoigne. So a major responsibility for him as well tonight.
OK, fine. Well, let's now go over to Poland, where our commentary team are Ron Atkinson. But first of all, Brian Moore.
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, everybody. It's a chilly night after a really good warm day here in southern Poland. And there's the mask. Gascoigne actually forgot to take the mask that he's supposed to wear out of the dressing room. He completely forgot about it. They sent the team doctor back for it. He didn't particularly want to wear it, I gather. Graham Taylor wasn't very keen that he wore it, but Lazio, his club in Rome, insisted that he did. He, of course, got that depressed cheekbone fracture after the game, or during the game, rather, against Holland. Let's just check on the teams then. Confirming that David Bardsley, the Queen's Park Rangers right back, is a late change for Arsenal. Lee Dixon has got a kidney infection. He pulled out 2.5 hours ago. It's Bardsley's second cap. Tony DeRigo and Teddy Sheringham, that's Terry's first cap. Also changes, the only changes from the side that drew with Holland at Wembley. Poland, meanwhile, have won 3 of their 4 games so far in this group. Their best result, a draw in Holland, but they struggled to beat San Marino in a home game. But 7 of this team play abroad, the goalkeeper in Turkey, 2 in Italy, 1 in Spain, and 3 in the German Bundesliga. fantastic site here, a wonderful stadium with something like between 50 and 60,000 now inside it. Always regarded as one of the most hostile in Europe, and still Gaza has not put the mast on, and David Platt is captain, ushering him forward now. Our referee tonight in the picture there is Serge Mumenthaler from Switzerland. In fact, Graham Taylor decided that Gascoigne would wear that mask in training this morning. He said, well, let's get all the mickey taking over and done with, and then when we get out into the stadium tonight, we can truly get straight down to business. But of all things, Gaza forgot about it and left it in the dressing room. Ron Atkinson with me. A quick early thought from you, Ron.
Yes, obviously the Poles are very wound up for the game. The fans are wound up, and I think the first 20 minutes is going to be particularly testing for England. I can imagine England, Brian, just sitting there for a little while, having a look at the thing, trying to establish a grip in midfield, and then trying to get their support up to the front players. But I think the first 20 minutes, I rather think they might just try and sit on the game a little bit.
Well, it's England who'll be kicking off in the white shirts, Poles in the red. They're attacking the goal to our left. So there's Gaza with the mask on now, and England's critical footballing week is underway. Here today, away against Norway and Oslo on Wednesday, two matches that will shape dramatically our prospects of making it to the World Cup in America next summer. At the very least, remember, England wants 2 points from these two games that are coming up, and then even with that, there'll be a lot of work to do. 3 would be healthier. 4, in fact, in these next few days. 4 points from the two games would put England top of their group and really just one step away. A little bit of nonsense there. The ball now played, and his first touch for David Bardsley. Just one previous cap for him in Spain. Knocking it forward towards Gascoigne. Platt getting in there as well for England. Bardsley again. In many ways, Bardsley in the Lee Dixon mould. Ron, in that he likes to get forward with a lot of pace.
Yeah, his strengths are, he's actually probably a better crosser of a ball than Lee Dixon, Brian. But they are indeed his strengths.
Now Lesniak, who's had a prolific scoring record, and making a great run! And putting it just wide! What a fright for England. Lesniak, who'd scored 4 times in the last 2 games, and not an English tackle coming in. And the Poles so very, very close to giving England a very uncomfortable start. Ron Atkinson.
That might be as big a let-off as the last time we were here in the World Cup when the shot hit the crossbar in the last minute. I mean, here we see him, he's a bit fortunate to nutmeg there's Walker there, but as he slots it, you think he's done everything right. And in fact, it looks as if it just shaved the side netting. But that is a distinct let-off for us. It also highlights the fact that we mustn't desert midfield too early. You know, I said at the start, I thought we were going to be a little bit solid and sit on the game. We went forward in the very first minute and left ourselves exposed to a quick counter-attack.
Dorigo with the throw for England. Breathing more freely now. Barnes on the far side. Quick challenge there from Gascoigne. And a free kick for England as well. But Platt wanted to get on with it, but the Swiss referee deciding it's got to be taken more formally than that.
Got 2 alternatives here, haven't we? I mean, it's Gascoigne range. He'll fancy himself, as will do Dorigo. I don't think we'll find anything played here. I think they'll definitely be going at the keeper, I would imagine, here.
So it's Gascoigne. Looks to be the likely one. Must be all of 30 yards out, though. But with Gascoigne, all things are possible. An England wall just immediately ahead of the Polish wall. Whistling all around this ground, a fantastic and a very hostile atmosphere here. Still waiting for Gascoigne, and it's Gascoigne, and had to be pushed away by Bacco. He eluded the wall, an excellent free kick.
Good free kick and a good chance to try the keeper out as well, wasn't it?
Bardsley again with the throw. Queen's Park Rangers fans would know he's got a good long throw on him as well. And away come Poland again, but it's with Bacco. First game in the Polish national side since last autumn. He was left out for the last 3 games. Back brought down, and a free kick again for England. Shevchik, the sweeper, is the man who committed the foul. Barnsley's not sure whether it's a free kick or not. In the end, the referee signalled a throw. Bardsley back to Tony Adams. Forward towards Sheringham, who's not really had a touch yet in his first international. Ince. Dorigo getting in with the head. Shevchik getting it away. Adams needing to take command here. And kept his head very well. It was Lezniak once again who made that terrible miss, who was causing the trouble. Forward to Gascoigne, into Carlton Palmer. Zanchik. Deep wide again for Kozetsky. And again, Poland, a long cross coming in too high for Furtek, but nobody out here. Where's Bardsley? Crossed in again, but deflected by Adams that time. And a free kick, presumably for an offside. Oh, a free kick's given the other way to Poland. Ron?
Well, I didn't quite see what happened there. I thought, I mean, when Tony Adams was on the ball, something obviously happened when Adams went onto the ball, which, I've got to be honest, I didn't see that one.
Pazanchik. And Pazanchik again. Turned that by Furtek. And now a corner for Poland. Lesiak, the big number 5, will be a threat on the edge of the box there. Furtek in at the near post. There's a deep one, and it goes behind for the goal kick. Just remember, just to remind you again, England, Poland, Holland, Turkey and San Marino in this group 2. Norway at top with 9 points, England and Holland with 8, Poland with 7, and 2 from those teams qualify. Chris Woods, long goal kick. England's throw.
Looks very much as if David Platt's being given the orthodox striker's job, just playing up right alongside Teddy Sheringham. I thought they may have used him slightly deeper, making his runs from midfield. But it looks as if he's been told to play up in a flat support with Sheringham.
Talking of strikers, Ian Wright on the England substitutes bench. Barnes. Beaten by Gascoigne. Another throw to England. Dorigo will take it. Getting ready to launch a long one into that Polish penalty area towards Carlton Palmer, but knocked away again by big number 5, Lezniak. Gascoigne. Little touch, tried to get it back again, but Gascoigne was downed by Pazanchik. Free kick to England. Once again, it's Gascoigne, mask and all, with this free kick. Turning it in there. In fact, Shevchik had to get low to get that one away. Paul Ince. In goes Walker. Forward. There's Walker there again for England. Very convincing with that clearance. Adams there, the whistle's gone. Another free kick, this time to Poland. Like 9 minutes of the game gone. Still Poland 0, England 0 here in Katowice. Shevchik, number 3, lining this one up. But hits it straight to the English wall. Carlton Palmer just knocking it away here for Bardsley. Hit long towards Sheringham. But a throw to Poland. Lesiak with it. There's a Lesiak in the side and a Lesniak. There's Lesniak, the number 11, who so nearly scored for Poland in the opening minute. But here's Gascoigne leading a charge now for England. Sheringham up ahead of him. But Sheringham had just moved out from that particular channel. And easy for the goalkeeper Bacco. Garrigo standing up well there, getting his header in. Walker getting his header in as well, but a throw to Poland.
I think what probably will have surprised Graham Taylor is we were led to believe that the Polish team had been selected with a lot of markers in there. The people like Gascoigne, like Platt, and Barnes particularly were going to be stifled. Well, at the moment, they don't look as if they've got any set marking situation. They're just content to just rotate in defence.
Swiaczewski. Poland recently gained their 2 expected wins against San Marino, but only by a single goal here in Poland, and that was a very debatable one. It looked like a handball goal by Furtok, and then they won 3-0 away in San Marino. Gascoigne getting across there to spoil the cross, but at the expense of a corner, and they're by no means prolific goal scorers, Poland, 13 only in their last 11 games. All this creating atmosphere that is very hostile so far as England's concerned. The last English victory here, in fact, was away back in 1966 by a 0-0. Here's a corner for Poland, floated in, knocked away there by the English defence. Kosminski, Shevchik, hit forward again. Bardsley there covering for England. England winning here just 6 days before the World Cup started in 1966. Roger Hunt's goal was the one that won it for England that day. This man wearing an England shirt to score, but let's hope somebody can follow that trail for England tonight. Lesiak with the throw again. Away from Bardsley, though, by Lesniak, and this is Furtok. And a goal kick.
Yes, they haven't got any particular size up front, have they, the Polish, with Furtok and Lesniak, but they're very highly mobile players, and they're not just going to stand up against Adams and Walker. They look as if they want to check off the play a little bit, receive the ball and turn and run at them. And in the past, you know, that is where England have had a problem, haven't they? When people have run at the heart of our defence. As indeed they did early on when Lesniak got in.
Walker. Black chasing on the far side. Poland's throw. Graham Taylor certainly got high hopes of his midfield tonight. The likes of Ince, Palmer, Gascoigne. He felt that, in fact, that is where England might overpower and outclass. Gascoigne, as well as saying, might outplay and outfight the Poles in midfield. But here they are, streaking through the English midfield again. And it was Bardsley who got that away at the last ditch, and there were a few worrying moments there again for England. Gascoigne hitting it into the path of Palmer. In turn, picking up David Bardsley. In for Lee Dixon, if you just joined us. Dixon with a kidney infection, pulled out of the side about 2.5 hours before the kickoff.
Just wonder, you know, whether we are, as a team, emptying midfield a little bit early. I mean, as soon as we win it in any defensive position, all the virtual 5 midfield players if you count Black go bombing off. And that does leave us a little bit vulnerable to counter-attacks. I think for a little while it might make sense if either Palmer, or particularly Palmer or Ince, just held the position and let the Barnes and the Gascoigne and people like that, the more creative players in the side, get on with going forward.
Free kick to England. Big Carlton Palmer with it. And he leaves it to Tony Dorigo. Palmer, who's played in all of the last 13 internationals for England. Dorigo with the free kick, driven in there towards that Polish penalty area. Kozetsky, the number 10. Dorigo for England again. Gascoigne unhappy with that refereeing decision. Well, he seems to have come to terms much more with officialdom this season. Just 1 red card and 2 yellow for Lazio, and he's got a free kick in any case, but looks as though he might have got a bit of a knock too. So Gascoigne with his free kick. A lot of scrimmaging going on in that Polish penalty area as he flukes it in again. And the feet of Ince a little high there. And a yellow card for Paul Ince.
Doesn't surprise me that pick your feet up in these games and you're going to get booked, but the referee gives me the impression as well as being a little bit fussy, you know. I mean, I actually thought he might pull Tony Adams a little bit earlier when he pulled Furtop down on the side of the box, but I don't think he's going to let much go.
Oh, we've got a moment. Just let's have a look at the England substitutes. The England subs are David Seaman, Gary Pallister, Lee Sharp, Nigel Clough and Ian Wright. And it's Jan Furtop, the Hamburg number 9, who was caught by Paul Ince. Shevchik with the free kick. It's again. Dorigo. Barnes on the far side.
He's just watching there's that
yellow card that Ince has picked up there rules him out of the Norway game on Wednesday.
Just saying there, Brian, watching that move develop up the left-hand side. Teddy Sheringham, you know, he's making his baptism in international soccer, and he's very much a lone ranger up there, very often outnumbered. He's trying all sorts of movements across the line there to try and get some sort of a touch of the ball. I mean, it'd be nice if he could get a header or something early doors, because he hasn't really, in fact, it's doubtful whether he's had one touch of the ball yet, has he?
I think he just had a solitary touch, but certainly Graham Taylor was saying this morning that they're going to aim to get as many crosses in as they can for Teddy Sheringham. 29 goals this season, 28 of them for Tottenham, and just 1 before he left on that £2 million deal for Nottingham Forest. Partner is well forward here. Shevchik getting it back, but a corner for England.
To be fair, that's where he's so effective, Pam. When he makes those long-rangey runs in behind the opposite fullback areas, stretches defences, particularly defences that play with a sweeper, and the space is then behind the markers.
Gascoigne will take it. Adams needs to stay up from the back. Sheringham will be another target. Palmer's made a little run in towards the near post and has jockeyed back again. Barnes is in there. Up goes Adams. And it's Kozetsky who gets it away for Poland.
You're saying about Sheringham thrives on crosses, and you spot on there. I mean, he's excellent in the box. But looking at the way the Poles have lined up, they look as if they're going to try and prevent both Bardsley and Dorigo getting in advanced positions. I think they're going to have to take the initiative a little bit themselves and try and force themselves high up the pitch and produce balls into the penalty box.
It's Bardsley. the far side, Teddy Sheringham. Palmer waiting in the middle. Platt is in there too. Bacco getting it away. Platt trying to keep it going. The ball's gone out of play for another England corner, though.
That was a superb move. That great ball to Sheringham, who'd taken up a lovely position, pulling on the defender's shoulder, and then he himself a good ball to the back post. Platt was very, just a bit short of a strike at goal there.
Gascoigne again with it. Adams making a run towards the nearer post that time. Palmer's there too. Sheringham couldn't quite pick that one up. Kozetski, the number 10 for Poland, finally getting it away.
But from away side, it's a decent start, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, they'll be
Graham Taylor's feeling the same, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, I should think he'd be very happy. Obviously, his heart will have fluttered when they got the very good chance going through, but when Lesniak missed the chance. But sometimes, you know, you look at that and think, hang on, that might mean it's our day.
That's the optimist in you speaking. There's a cross coming in from Barnes. So here come Poland again. Fortok well up there. Kozetski making the run. Stopped by Carlton Palmer. Up to 20 minutes gone now. Adamchuk with the throw for Poland. Swiaczewski, 0-0 the score. Sheringham putting a lovely ball out there to Platt. In the end, is into Czachowski. To Shevchek. Lesniak's long ball forward. Adams underneath it again for England. Kosminski. And Dorigo. No, I thought he was going to get there first, but he didn't, but the ball was just knocked out of play.
It's quite a let-up there, though, isn't it? Kosminski taking advantage of Dorigo's little slip there. I think Dorigo, relying on his pace, got perhaps a touch overconfident. You know, he should really produce a better ball than Kosminski. That's the only reservation I've got about our play at the moment, Brian. We do seem a bit spaced out at the back, our back four, and whenever they pick it up, they do have this little thing where they can make progress at us. We're dominating virtually all the midfield. We haven't quite shown any sharpness up front, which is understandable because we have got a lack of pace, haven't we, in terms of Sheringham, and no real quickies to get up in the front positions. But generally speaking, it's a good performance. But I am a little bit concerned about the way we're leaving our back four exposed.
Ince's header for England. Won by Dorigo. Gascoigne. Palmer trying to force his way through on that far side. Another free kick, the referee wanting just a passing word with Palmer. The Polish opponent is down. Shevchek, the big sweeper. Doesn't look too severely damaged.
No, he's made a meal of that, that's for sure. I mean, what Carlton's got to be careful of course, is he went past the referee and completely blanked him. You know, at this level, and seeing how fussy referees are, you know, particularly continental ones, there's every chance he'll get himself a booking for nothing.
Some skirmishing in the crowd on the far side. There have been one or two little hot spots already before the game started, but let me say, the bulk of those were Pole against Pole. Obviously some anti-club rivalry here. And on the far side at the moment, there's quite a bit of fighting going on, but it is all Pole against Pole. Sticks and stones are raining through the air on that far side there. But no English fans involved there. It's a free kick for England, or rather a corner for England, which will be taken by Gascoigne. Sweeping run in there. Shevchek, the big tall sweeper, at the near post, got it away, but another corner. Adams in there, Palmer in there, Platt in there. Sheringham is just that little bit deeper. Ince on the edge of the box. one in again, but it was Furtop got that away quite comfortably. Bardsley's first clearance falling straight to a pole, but he made sure with the second one.
Great retrieving tackle, that otherwise would have been in a somewhat little bit of danger. Haven't been terribly impressed with the delivery on our set plays. We seem to have had a number of free kicks and corners, but we haven't yet produced a particularly good ball apart from Gascoigne's shot.
Still 0-0 here in Katowice. Torrigo again with the throw for England. Shevchuk. Here's Bardsley, getting it back to Chris Woods. Offside, free kick to England. Chris Woods winning his 41st cap tonight. Long towards Sheringham, won it in the air, but the flag was up for offside in any case against David Platt. But certainly an indication there, the first we've had tonight, of Sheringham's power in the air.
Beautiful header, beautiful touch on from Teddy Sheringham, and as you say, that's one of his great strengths. I was rather surprised to see David Platt in an offside position there, because he didn't run into it, he was actually stood in it.
Walker and Adams. Wozniak. Bardsley with the throw. On for Ince. Here's Gascoigne. There's Minsky. Stopped with a good challenge by David Bardsley. But Ince in a bit of trouble, actually. But an England throw.
I think Paul Ince is far happier when he's in a more central area where he can face the game up and get involved a lot more. Out here, he tends to get a little bit isolated.
26 minutes gone. Poland 0, England 0. Poles again striking quickly through those middle areas. This time it's Kosminski. Stopped by Adams and Platt. Sheringham. Gascoigne's up there with him. Got some support also from behind here from Bardsley, playing it down the line for Palmer. Couldn't quite keep it in play, a Polish throw. Police are here in force, and they really do take no prisoners here. You can see the way those fans are scrambling away, but they've been causing trouble for quite a few minutes there. And on this side of the field for quite a while before the game started. But let me repeat again, it's pole against pole. There are no, as far as I can see, any English supporters involved there at all. Palmer. Gets it back from John Barnes. Palmer again, Paul Ince. Gets it back for Adams. This time there was a foul on Ince. England free kick. Dave Bardsley with the free kick. Adams has gone in there. Goodness, that wasn't far away from Sheringham as well.
Certainly was a good flighted ball in as well, wasn't it, from Bardsley? But Adams was left completely unmarked there, wasn't he?
Sheringham actually got the header in.
Yep. When he headed it, I actually thought he'd scored, you know. I actually thought he'd registered with that. I mean, but he is good at that. He's good at finding space in the penalty box.
Play. Number 9, Jan Fortok. Bardsley with the throw for England. Gascoigne. Advantage played there by the referee. Gascoigne failed fairly heavily again there by Swiaczewski. Czechowski getting it away for the Poles. Things for the moment have quietened down in the stadium here. Concentrate a little more on the play again. And indeed, England's defence have to do that again. Kozinski stopped though. Czechowski with the throw. Adamchuk. Barnes cutting it out nicely. Ince over there supporting him. Dorigo knocking it down. Comes to Sheringham. Barnes gets it forward to Gascoigne. Teddy Sheringham in again. Free kick's been given to England. Dorigo is going across there, but Gascoigne also number 8 in there as well. It'll be Paul Gascoigne who takes it. In a long way. David Platt trying one of those shots on the turn that was so successful in the 1990 World Cup that beat Belgium in Bologna, you may remember. Half an hour gone, still Poland 0, England 0. Ince towards Platt. Ball Ince again. But that's probably a free kick to England, the foul on Ince. And again, can Platt finish it off? Handball, presumably.
Another good free kick from Bardsley, though. Clever one, that, because everybody was focusing on Sheringham when Palmer made a little run across for the shorter ball.
Adams, touched on by Palmer. Taken nicely by Gascoigne. Nobody's wide out here. Swiaczewski, number 7. Fortok stopped by Bardsley.
Actually thinking, O'Brien, England would have a little bit of joy if Gascoigne came and operated on this right-hand side a little bit more. They didn't sit in behind him and insure him, and I think he could maybe make things happen down this side of the field.
Lesiak with the throw. Adams with the head.
Because at the moment he's finding space a little bit difficult to come by in the centre of midfield.
Dorigo getting it clear. Barnes scooping it forward. Look who's up there, Carlton Palmer. Sheringham's waiting in the middle, but it's back again to Bako. Shevchek forward to Fortok. Kozetski stopped by the clearance from Des Walker.
He does like to pick the ball up and run with it, though, doesn't he? Anything that an England defender heads down that's not completely accurate, he'll pick up and run at them.
And that makes even the best organised defences a little uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, and without playing, you know, that's one of the games levelled against the England teams when we don't have a sweeper. But teams that can run at them from midfield or from deeper positions can often exploit them.
Lezniak being pursued by Paul Ince. Getting it forward, though, to Kosminski. The flag up and offside against number 4. Marek Kosminski.
But all in all, Brian, in terms of grinding out a result, it's been a fairly encouraging England performance. We haven't looked particularly ominously dangerous apart from set plays, but as I say, with the one exception, neither have they.
Bardsley hitting it forward. Palmer knocking it down for Platt. Well, it's going to be hard to get a cutting edge, really, when he has to keep changing the front two as often as Graham Taylor's had to. to throw to England. The English fans making their presence felt. The cries of "Come on, England." Barnsley playing it in for Palmer. It's a goal kick for Poland. Polish bench, and second from the left was the Polish manager, Andrzej Strelau. Barnsley for England, putting it up to Ince. It's England's ball. The foul on Paul Ince. Barnsley to Walker. Barnes giving it away. And suddenly the Poles are chasing through there. And he's gone in! And it's a goal for Poland. Adamczuk is the scorer. But the mistake was so severe in that England defence. I think Des Walker was one of the culprits. Walker just couldn't get to it. And Adamczuk over the head of Chris Woods into the back of the English net, and that's a total disaster.
Well, I mean, that's great pace. This is what we said they could always do. They could always sprint from midfield areas. But when would we have ever thought that in two internationals, Des Walker's going to be outstripped? Certainly the England manager would never ever have thought that he probably, the man he regards as his insurance man, in his last two internationals has been outpaced in a very similar position. All credit to Adamczuk. Very, very tidy finish once he got there. Gave the ball away too easy in midfield, and then, I don't know, as Des playing in Italy lost a yard, I don't know. But certainly I would never have guessed anybody could outrun him twice.
But again, it's a case of when you're attacked with pace through the midfield, people taking you on. England are looking uncomfortable all the time.
You see, it's a clutch stick situation in many ways. Our midfield has pushed on and done quite well. But for all that, I still feel you've got to have an anchor man somewhere in the midfield. I mean, that's a lovely, tidy finish from the guy. And he's just got that last yard on Des Walker. But whether he should have got the last yard, I don't know.
And here come Poland again. Deschner. Stopped by Ince, working hard. Finds Teddy Sheringham. Gets the cross in, and Bacco getting there just ahead of David Platt.
Actually, Sheringham's done a lot of his best work down the sides of the defence. I mean, you always think of Sheringham as being somebody that operates in the box, but this is arguably the best cross we've put into the game. That's the sort of cross Teddy Sheringham himself would love to have coming into the box.
Header by Adams, taken by David Platt. Ince taking it on, brought down, another free kick. But this time a yellow card for Petrovsky. Ron?
Yeah, just saying he's far happier Ince when he's in that central area. In fact, he'd be the ideal man actually to anchor our midfield, because you can't have the best of both worlds with Palmer. You want him to sit in, but then you want him to go on those big rangy runs. And it might well be that Ince could possibly get the insurance job. Thrives on driving from that position.
Gascoigne with the free kick for England meantime. Needing a goal now to restore a bit of order to this occasion in Katowice. Adams couldn't get to it. Leśniak bringing it away again. Again striking at England with such pace. As Minsky. Palmer getting it wide. Ince again, knocking it in towards David Platt. And the Poles a little fortunate to get that one away. Palmer, back to Bardsley, knocking it on again now for Ince. And another free kick for England. England a goal down, scored by Adamczuk. with 6 minutes of the first half left.
But we just saw an earlier incident there with John Barnes attacking the last man, you know, where if we get into those positions and produce crosses, Sheringham's always going to have some sort of a chance.
Just look at that crowd in that penalty area. Bacco, though, gets above them all.
And it shouldn't be forgotten as well. I mean, we talk about Sheringham on crosses. I actually think Platt scores the majority of his best goals when he's coming in on a cross ball. And they haven't got blistering pace to run away from defenders, but they've got the ability to time runs into the box if the quality's good.
Free kick for England. Adams quickly with it. Tony Dorigo. Given away again, and a free kick with it.
Actually, they're not allowing Tony Dorigo any time at all to settle. As soon as he receives any sort of possession, Gazetsky's out to him like a flash to press him.
And look at the space on this side now for Kosminski. And the pace of the man as well. Gets a good cross in, but straight at the near post, and Chris Woods was able to grab that one. Throws it straight out to Gascoigne, who's had a fairly muted first half. Apart from that one free kick, there's a ball, almost got it through to Sheringham. Chachowski with the throw for Poland. That beaten in the air. Sheringham, though, gets his header in, knocked away by Kosminski. Walker. Here's Bardsley. Knocked down by Sheringham, but straight again to Kosminski. And an offside flag is up against Kozetski. And we're inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. Poland leading by a goal to nil in this World Cup qualifier here in Katowice. Sheringham's in there. Hit the goalkeeper's body with it. And it's straight up the other end of the field. Furtek on the chase again, and Woods just getting there before him.
Once again, though, Teddy Sheringham, that's three little situations he's got where he may nearly got on the score sheet. Desperately unlucky with that, rolled the defender brilliantly. And unfortunately, he struck his shot well enough to unfortunately down the keeper's throat.
It's an offside against Platt. Winning quickly on Bacco, and I think probably caught the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, when you're a goal scorer, you see only the ball, don't you? He's not aware of the fact he's offside immediately. The ball's in the loose as far as he's concerned. And he lives on goals, David Platt. And how we could do one of them now. I think Graham's got to sort something out on the right-hand side of our midfield. Because we want to play sort of four men in midfield and then David Platt joining in, we do get a little bit unbalanced. I know we play in-south there, but he's not his most effective there. You know, somehow or other, I think the way he's got the situation now, he's got to try and get Gascoigne out here somewhere. Because Paul's not doing an awful lot in midfield. He doesn't look completely fit to me, I have to say. I was watching him track back there, and he looked a little bit, well, he looked plenty tired.
Carlton Palmer. Barnes, just nicking it on. Tony Dorigo. And Poland's throw. Just join us. England are a goal down here. They were very nearly a goal down in the opening minute. And Rezniak was right through and planted it wide. And they've lost one to Adamchuk. And to be fair, England's only real threat has been a free kick from Gascoigne, which the keeper saved well, and a shot from Sheringham just a moment ago that the keeper saved.
You think he might have gone a little bit closer with his header, Brown, from the free kick? Sheringham from Bardsley's free kick?
Yeah.
He looked to have selected his spot, didn't he, and looped the keeper.
And there was plenty of space for him there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, that's his forte. He's good at that.
Kazanchek, I think it is, down, is injured. Tough little all-action midfield player. Miroslav Paco has punched it again after a clash with Wright. And Teddy Sheringham getting some orders there. And Carlton Palmer's issuing some of them. Terrific spirit in the England side, and my goodness, they're going to need that now, Ron.
Yes, I mean, the one thing they've got that little bit of thing where they've had one or two, not fabulous results, but decent results. They played Holland a good side and got a result, should have beaten them and things like that. Now it's a question of can they roll their sleeves up and grind out a result. I mean, a draw would be a good result at this moment in time. Can they grind out a result and then say, all right, the performance level may not have been quite as pretty as we would have liked it.
It's Gascoigne's touch.
But the biggest single problem we have at the moment, we haven't really got a sharp cutting edge. Platty, when he plays right up against the marker, is not as effective as when he's coming from a deep position. And Sheringham, been unlucky on 2 or 3 occasions, but he'd be the first to admit he's not a blistering pace player.
There's Wright with a throw for Poland. Coming towards a half-time interval. Rosecki with a shot. Deflected off an England defender. It sent Woods plunging across his goal and went behind for the corner to Poland. And we're now playing time added on at the end of the first 45 minutes. With England a goal down. Taking it short. Zanchek. It's a long cross in, only white shirts over there, Teddy Sheringham, but it's given away though to Lezniak. Shahovsky. Back to Shevchek. Forward again on this side of the field. Zanchek is here again. Shadowed by Ince this time. The back heel will be picked up, I think, by Barnes. He conceded the corner, though. Barnes' contention was that it was a throw. I must say, from my position up here, it looked as though it had just crossed the line. Corner it is. And Zanchek with it. England must stay solid in these moments before half-time now. They played it short again. Back for Bezantic again. Drove it in there, knocked away by Ince, cleared in the end by Barnes. Adams, as the half-time whistle goes. And it's not been a good first 45 minutes for England. Without, as Ron was saying, a real cutting edge. Terry Sheringham's first international. And one good header that went wide, but it's the Poles who are leading with a goal by Adamchuk. Poland 1, England 0.
Now this looks promising. He crosses the halfway line. He goes inside one. He's outside the other. The others can't catch him. Oh, that's a sensational dribble.
The essence of man, the right man, for me, he must have spirit. Sometimes he's strong. Sometimes gentle. Like the sea, I think. A little bit mysterious. But so alive, full of life.
New Brut Aquatonic from Fabergé.
The essence of man.
Are your favorite plants suffering? Well, now it's easy for everyone to have beautiful plants with Ceramis, a totally new plant care system. Ceramis granules absorb water like a sponge, releasing it as the plant needs it. And a watering indicator tells you exactly when to water. It couldn't be simpler. Ceramis. Now everyone can have beautiful plants.
Papa?
You may be looking for a car that's small and practical. But you still want a car that feels luxurious. Well, now you've found it. Because while the Clio is certainly small, it's perfectly formed.
Papa?
the Renault Clio.
Thank you, Ambassador. Night, Jim.
Thank you. Hey! Ma noi Trenescu.
Ah, good man. Get him to move, sir.
I'll do it, boss.
Sir! Sir! Did you make your phone call, sir?
I had a word with the ambassador, yes?
I phoned Barclaycard, sir.
Oh, please.
International Rescue, sir. They got me a lawyer. Shouty! An English-speaking lawyer, sir.
Well, I'm being seen personally by the Minister of Justice.
Can I help you?
Ooh, dry white wine, please.
I'm afraid the bars are closed.
Right.
Regarde, la Stella Artois est arrivée.
Welcome back. So England trailing by a goal to nil there in Poland, and you have to say that, you know, there could have been a goal down in the first seconds of the game practically.
Very much so, Saint. Yeah, it was a right let-off for us, wasn't it? I mean, the lads got through there, and really should be he'll kick himself when he sees this. He should be putting this in the back of the net.
It was a wonderful chance, but that was a powder-puff tackle surely by Walker.
Des has got to try and hold him up there. He's the last man in defence. But look at this. Woodsy tries to narrow the angle, but it looks, at that time, I thought he'd scored. It looks as if he'd done everything right, but it was just, for England, it was an inch the other side of the post.
So a let-off at that particular time for England. And it took the Poles like about half an hour before they had another chance. But again, I thought Des Walker made the mistake in that one.
Well, it was a dreadful mix-up, wasn't it, between Des and Barnsley. Des has given Barnsley a hell of a ball there. He's stuck it in there probably a bit too quick, and Barnsley's got a tight marker on him and given a terrible ball back. And Des Walker last year would have got that back without any shadow of a doubt to Woodsy, but the lads called him and just finished it off extremely well, you must say. But there's got to be a question mark on Des Walker's pace, which is normally his strength.
I mean, he must have made up 3 yards. Adamchuk there, didn't he? He made 3 yards up on Walker.
I think to come to Des's defence a little bit, he's obviously given the ball to Barnsley and thinking Barnsley's going to keep possession, and then Barnsley's, you know, got caught on it, and the lads have really shown him, you know, some pace that he couldn't live with in the end.
I mean, we saw in the Holland game there was, you know, England lost a goal there again through Walker's pace, and everybody thought, well, that might just be a one-off, end of the game, he may have had a knock or whatever. But tonight, you know, that's two really crucial mistakes.
It certainly is, yeah, and they've been punished. One of them, you know, we got away with, but the second one's been punished for sure.
Right. At the other end of the field, England have, I think, huffed and puffed a bit, but they had a couple of chances, and again, Teddy Sheringham doing not too badly, Glenn, I think.
I think Teddy's done exceptionally well, yeah. He's got himself in and around the box. He's done some nice things out wide. Here, David Bardsley, I think, also has had a terrific game. Has put in a nice floated set piece, and he's just attacked the ball on the inside of the defender. And from where we were sitting here, we thought that was a goal, didn't we?
And this is his next chance here with a shot.
Yeah, it's a bit out of nothing, but it's a great body use. Look how he uses his body there to just shrug off the defender. And it's a great volley. He's hit the target, he's forced the goalkeeper to score, and a little bit unfortunate he hasn't got himself a goal tonight.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss possibly, you know, more action in just a minute, but time now for our US Cup competition and your chance to win a VIP trip for two with American Airlines to watch England play Brazil in Washington on June the 13th. Here's a question. We want to know which team eliminated England from the World Cup finals in 1990 in Italy. Answers please on 0891 335533. That's 0891 335533. The lines are open until tomorrow evening and your call will last no more than a minute. The winner will be announced on Monday afternoon on ITV during our live coverage of the First Division playoff final from Wembley starting at 2 o'clock. OK, we'll take a short break now, but more action from Poland coming up shortly.
Cold filtered. Hey, this is really interesting. Coors backwards is Srook. Yeah, served cold makes sense. Serve date on the bottom.
Hey, John, have you read this one?
No, I haven't.
Get a life.
Yeah, Coors backwards is Srook. It's still there.
Dulux Pure Brilliant White is so thick, it covers a multitude of sins.
Throughout June, BT are running another special offer, this time on local cheap rate calls over 4 minutes. For example, a 20-minute call will cost just 15p.
Do you come here often?
I bring the little one. He loves the water.
He does seem full of life.
Well, that's thanks to his Energizer batteries.
Energizer?
They last so much longer than ordinary SP batteries.
Do they really?
And what's more, Energizer doesn't have any harmful mercury added.
Oh, so you're an environmentalist?
I'm not. I'm a respectable married woman.
Yeah.
Energizer. It's stronger to last longer.
Introducing the new Polaroid Vision. A new instant camera which has a revolutionary viewing window. This may explain why people will do anything to have their picture taken by it. Polaroid Vision. The effect is instant.
Would you recommend your motor insurance company to a friend?
Is that what you're paying? You know who you should call. Oh.
Well, each year, hundreds of thousands of satisfied customers recommend Direct Line.
As to your claim that you could not afford motor insurance, I can only say...
Direct Line Insurance. We come highly recommended. Call 081 686 2468.
It seems so long ago now. We just had to get away. I thought it was all over, but that was yesterday. Today it's all so different. No more sadness now or pain. Another world for both of us. Half an hour by train. It was one of those days that could have lasted forever. We came here far apart, but we went back home together.
With off-peak fares, every outing's a treat. Many happy returns from Network Southeast. Network Southeast.
You are soon to witness a special event. The launch of Starwing. The first of a new breed.
Welcome back. Well, Glenn, with England trailing 1-0, what do you think Graham Taylor will do in the second half?
I think if it stays like that for 15 minutes in the second half, we've got to see the appearance of Wright for sure, and possibly someone like Sharp, just to give us a little bit of width and see if we can get round the back more consistently and get some good crosses in for the two strikers.
Now, we talked before the game about Palmer's role in it, and we thought he'll sit in the centre circle. It's not been the case. He's gone rampaging up the field.
He has done. He's ended up in the positions, really, where we want to see Gaza on the ball. And Paul's really been a little bit quiet, for sure. And I think it'd be better if Palmer can just sit and let Gascoigne, let's get him on the edge of the box and do these little bit of magic. He's been very quiet tonight, Paul, and he's got to really have an influence in the second half for us to pull this game round.
But that's obviously the style that the manager's looking for. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't be doing it, surely.
Well, I think it's one of Carlton's assets is to get forward. He's got a lot of energy, but within the system of how he's playing, he's surely got to try and sit and hold, because it allows them, Paul, to go and do the business in a more forward role. But I think Gaza's having to play a bit deeper because he's seen Carlton's gone bombing off forward. So I think that could do with a little bit of a reshape there.
What about John Barnes' role in the game so far?
I was disappointed to see Barnsley let the ball go under his foot in the first minutes of the game, and then I think the warning signs were there that he wasn't going to be at his best. I think that's the sort of thing that lets Barnsley down in an early part of the game, and I felt he wasn't going to have a good game. He certainly hasn't done enough yet, and obviously with the goal, he's got to take a little bit of part of the fault on the Polish goal.
Now, you mentioned Barnsley at full-back again. I think, you know, the two new boys, Barnsley and Sheringham, are having nice games. I mean, I say great games, but they're certainly having good games, aren't they? I
think they're the two players that I would say have performed, you know, as good as anyone out there. Certainly David Barnsley's I felt that he's comfortable on the ball. He's not done anything silly defensively. He's used it very well, and obviously Sheringham's been there or thereabouts sniffing for a goal, and who knows, this half we might just get it.
I know you might not want to look at this, but let's have a look at the goal again and see. Now, Barnsley came across.
Yeah, he's just got done for pace, and yeah, he does get a touch. We had a suspicion that it might have been Des that got the touch, but I think the fact that we give the ball away so easy, we've got caught flat, very flat, and that's the reason why no one's got on the cover and been able to get across there and cut the danger out. Woodsy's got caught in no man's land.
That's right. Do you think possibly, I mean, he was expecting Des Walker to get the ball first, knock it back to him, and he could punt it away?
I think we've seen Des do that so many times, haven't we, over the years, where he gets back, he squeezes up, he gets back, and he just gets a touch back to the goalkeeper. And, you know, it hasn't happened in the last couple of games, for sure.
I'm just wondering now, because the press have been full of the fact that he may come back home for the start of next season. Now, any club watching him tonight must have in the back of their mind that maybe his pace has gone, and that was his asset. That was what made Des Walker the player he was.
I think he's obviously having a little bit of a bad time over there in Italy, and the adjustment has been taking him a little bit of time. But I think in English football, he would, if he came back now, I think he'd still be the Des Walker that we all know, but he'd need a little bit of time for adjustment.
And readjust to the whole thing. What about quickly on David Platt?
Well, I just feel that David's really playing a little bit out of position. I always felt that. I felt that Ron said in the commentary that he feels he's the best at getting into the box on crosses. And really, when you're the front man, you've sometimes got your back to play. Yes. And I don't feel David's at his best when he's doing that. He likes to come in like Brian Robson used to do and arrive in the box and get his goals that way. And he's been doing that for us, but let's say against, you know, lesser opposition. And I would like to see him perhaps in just a little deeper role, getting into the penalty area. There was once there where he was offside, and if it had come from a deep area, he might have been onside.
Yeah, when Teddy Sheringham flicked one.
That's right, he flicked one in there, and he was waiting in there and he was offside, whereas if it had been from a deeper position, perhaps arriving in there, he would have got himself a goal.
So, quickly, how do you see it going in the second half?
Well, we've got an uphill task, that's for sure, and we've got to be aware that the two centre-halves have got to defend properly, because we could get caught with a second. But I think if Wright comes on, I still think we can get something out of the game.
OK, fine. Well, as you can see, the players are coming out there in the stadium in Katowice. And we'll hand you back to Ron Atkinson and Brian Moore.
Welcome back to Poland. Do we think Ian Wright might come on at some point, Ron?
Yes, I think if it stays like this, it's a certainty to. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of forward changes, whether or not I might even risk Lee Sharp going on as well. Because we've certainly, to me, it's a big pitch, you know, it's a very, very big pitch. And we haven't, if anything, we haven't used the full width of it. Now, the system we play makes it difficult, Brian, to use the full width.
Well, it'll be Poland who get the second half underway. leading by a goal to 0. It's just before we go on. Let's have a quick word with Graham Taylor. The game is going on at the moment.
Give us your thoughts, could you? We've got to start to use your heads. You play football with your heads.
Well, he's obviously a little worked up there, Graham, and feels the side haven't really done themselves justice in that first half. Platt now, battling away on the far side. Trying to use his feet and his head as well. And certainly got up very well from that one. The ball crossed in quickly, but knocked away once again by Lesiak. What do you make of that, Ron?
I think that's the manager being very frustrated and angry about the way his side's playing, because, you know, that they have a team pattern. If anything, they possibly haven't played with enough invention, if that's what it meant.
Walker with a header. Comes through a nice little layoff there from Platt. Gascoigne getting in towards the box, but absolutely crowded out there by 3 Polish defenders. And Lesiak in the end getting it away.
I think that's, they made the mind up before the game. We thought it'd be a man-for-man job on Gascoigne, didn't we? And all the earlier forecasts would, that's how it would be. But it looks as if they're saying as soon as he gets possession, the nearest man straight away pounces on him and presses him quickly, and then gets support around him. So if he does his little shimmy, which he's done on a number of times, beats a player, there's always a secondary man backing him up.
It certainly worked so far. Gascoigne's had a really quiet game. And Poland leading by a goal to 0 on the attack again in those red shirts. Kozetsky, number 10. One who really fires himself forward and attacks defenders. Brought down by Ince, who's already had a yellow card, remember.
Yes, when they're travelling at that pace, was Kozetsky was there. You know, you can barely touch him. And Ince is coming in from the side on him. You know, and I tell you what, that's a lovely old dive. If it had been water there, he wouldn't have to gone the distance.
A free kick for Poland, about 35 yards out. Deciding who's going to have a go at this. So it might be Shevchuk. Driven a long way there by Shevchuk. But Woods nicely behind it, the big number 3, the captain and sweeper. Woods knocking it forward. Lesiak getting it away. Well, Ince quite blatantly pulled back there. Free kick given, and I'm surprised the referee doesn't want a word with the Polish offender, but he doesn't. Barnes, though, will take the free kick. This is where we're looking for something a la Wembley and Holland from John Barnes. It's a bit further out there, maybe, and the Polish manager getting a little worked up about it. And Garrigo's shot finishing way over the top.
But that's certainly the best delivery we've had from a set play, apart from the one maybe Barsley put in to Sheringham first half. I mean, I've been disappointed. We've got players of the calibre of Gascoigne and people like that, good deliverers, and we haven't really hit the ball in front of people. That was a good one. That's the one Platt thrives on. When it's put into the space between the goalkeeper and the last defender, and each time he's running, gets little nicks on things.
Palmer. Platt chasing over this side. Walker with a header, but he's beaten that time by Leshniak. Walker, that time his pace got him back. Oh, given away by Woods! And he's gone wide! Oh, my goodness. Well, that's 2 misses that Poland have had. And both from Leshniak. And a terrible howler from Chris Woods.
You know,
and that would have been the end of it.
The silly thing was there when the back pass was Patron, Brian, I actually thought Chris Woods was going to step over it. And Woods, in all fairness, has redeemed himself there. He's made a good little save there, but oh, he'd have lived with that for the rest of his career, wouldn't he?
Kozanczek with the corner for Poland. Well, with the chances they've missed, if England do get back into it, the Poles will never forgive themselves. That's more like it from Chris Woods. There's throw out onto the far side. Foul there.
On the other side, of course, Brian, if the England players don't draw something from that, I mean, Leshniak who actually has played quite well and yet had two of the best chances that any international striker could have at this level. They weren't locking up, really, because, quite frankly, I mean, the game should have been out of sight now.
I think it's Sheringham injured over there. Well, it's not an easy life at the moment for the man in the middle there, Graham Taylor. And yet his record coming here, he'd lost only 3 of the 30 matches that England have played since he took over some 3 years ago. Defeat here tonight would, well, it wouldn't exactly be a disaster, but it would make England's qualification for America. It would put it in some jeopardy, and it would certainly demand that England won in Norway on Wednesday night. Tony Dorigo with the throw. Getting it up towards David Platt. Adams. Foul on Ince. Gained by Swieczewski. England wanted to get that free kick taken fairly quickly. Palmer denied that opportunity. Now leaves it for Gascoigne. Will he float one in towards David Platt? No, he knocks it wide again for Bardsley. And a goal kick.
Yes, those are the areas of the field we've got to try and get to, and trying to get to it before a Polish defender can close us out, but we've got to produce better than that. David Bardsley, to be fair, has actually produced 1 or 2 balls from that side. With the exception of one from John Barnes on this side, we haven't really got high enough up the left-hand side and sort of put enough balls in behind the defenders.
Jump by Adams. England so often during Graham Taylor's reign have thrown away winning positions. It's quite the reverse now. They've got to battle themselves back into find a winning position. A goal down here in Katowice. Poland 1, England 0. Shevchenko. Bardsley's header. Palmer knocking it on. Sheringham's little touch. Ince playing it wide again. Gascoigne trying to make progress, but again surrounded by red shirts. Unhappy with the protection he's getting from the referee, although he gets a free kick here.
When he's at his pomp, though, when he's at his best, Brian, he gets away from people there with his power. He does that little shimmy, gets beyond people, holds them away with his body stem. Tonight, he's not getting away from people, and that's what makes me think he's got slight doubts about his fitness.
Good fist away by Bacco under pressure from David Platt, and it's not away yet. But the whistle had gone for an infringement inside that Polish penalty area. And England remain a goal down. Gascoigne labouring a bit there as well. And looks as though he wanted to get off and get some treatment.
Well, just had a rap on it, didn't he? Just in front of the trainer's bench, and at that moment I thought actually there was a possibility they might whip him off.
Shevchenko with the free kick for Poland. Walker backpedaling, knocks it back to Chris Woods. Here's Dorigo.
That's exactly whether that's their game plan, but as soon as Dorigo recedes, they flying at him. They don't even give him a chance to get his head up and produce a ball forward.
To be fair, they played with a lot of fire tonight, and better than most people expected they would play Poland, they're on.
Yeah, and I think they're also aided by the fact they've taken the lead, and the crowd, which is, as we well know, is a fairly hostile one, isn't it? And you know, at the moment, it looks as if they could score another one. Who knows what might happen?
Adams for England. Pick towards Bardsley on the far side. Got round his man. But didn't get his cross in quickly enough, but England get a corner. Gascoigne coming back on. England back to full strength. And they want Gaza to take this corner for them. So England's corner. Adams is poised. Barnes is right in there as well. The Again, knocked off their heads by a Polish defender. And Poland attacking again, and Ince brought him down, and this could be trouble for Paul Ince, who's already had a yellow card. But the referee content just with the free kick, I think.
I must confess, when he pulled the fellow down, I thought that was sudden death for him.
Yep.
I thought he was on his way then. And I think that's another thing that I mentioned earlier about Carlton Palmer, and now Paul Ince is the same. They're young, inexperienced internationals who thrive on the competitive edge, if you like, but they have to temper that.
Shevchik. Archer's header. Taken by Tony Adams.
But I do think Ince's frustrations are from playing in that wide position. I mean, you suggested about possibly Ian Wright coming on. Well, you know, that would seem logical. Goal scorer, somebody to support Sheringham. I just wonder whether a wide player, and Sharp would be the one, whether he might be give us something a little bit different.
Well, the ball taken away from Gascoigne again, but England get it back. It's with Carlton Palmer. Played here for David Platt. Foul on Platt by Trzachovski. Palmer. Foul on Platt, but we now see Palmer going forward, but the ball delivered there wasn't a good one, and suddenly Woods is called into action again here, the edge of his box.
That's the first time actually Palmer's ventured forward this half, you know, and I wonder if that's what Graham meant about players playing with their heads, because it looks as if he's asked Palmer to just do that little holding job.
For a top court offside, a free kick again to England. Woods with a kick. Sheringham couldn't get to it. Walker gets to that one. Sheringham does get to that. Knocks it on again. Bacco. It's there a fraction before David Platt again. Kozetski.
He loves to pick it up with Kozetski and drive inside. You know, that opens defenders up for all sorts of runs.
Furtok's in there now.
Well, that just shows how much that those runs have pulled the English defence about when John Barnes is the last defender.
Here's Sheringham. England's throw. Barnes forward now, tries to get round his man, then does get round his man. John Barnes now bringing Sheringham into it, but hand off the defender again for an England corner. Gascoigne again with the corner. See if he can whip a really effective one in now. There are at least 4 England players in the 6-yard area. Curled in there and knocked over by John Barnes. No, Carlton Palmer, I think it was, who just knocked it over.
It just pulled off the goalkeeper as Gascoigne delivered it and couldn't quite get over the top of it. Still not happy with 1 or 2 exceptions with the delivery from our free kicks, you know, and corners. I mean, that's not a doubt. Whether the pitch being, I don't know whether the pitch is a touch wider or what, I don't know, but certainly the quality, the threat is not always there from our free kicks.
It is a touch wider. Graham Taylor was saying to me this morning, it's a 73-yard wide pitch, just a fraction wider than Wembley. Back with Chris Woods again. Coming towards the quarter-of-an-hour mark, and still England looking at an equalising goal. Poland 1, England 0. Kosmicki. Down again, that time by Paul Ince. A free kick to Poland. Some warming up here. The England subs. Lee Sharp, I think it is. A free kick to England. Arrigo hitting it high towards Platt. But Platt holding the defender. Free kick to Poland.
This is the time, you know, when we possibly our frustrations are showing and we're trying to drive and get the ball forward too early. We've still got to try, and this is where the likes of Gascoigne and Barnes, players of quality, have got to demand and dictate and try and get on the ball. At the moment, every time a defender's got it at the back, most players are just turning the backs and running forward. And subsequently, you know, we're getting no real link up at the moment.
Well, it certainly looks as though Lee Sharp might be on in the next minute or two for England.
Yeah, I wonder whether it'll be to go on the right-hand side or whether it might just be a straight swap for John Barnes. And I personally would like to see him go on the right-hand side and try and stretch it a little bit.
But a foul on Sheringham, Ron, and this is a much more interesting position for an England free kick. Gascoigne behind it. We need him to just pull that little bit of magic out from this free kick now. If the Swiss referee can get that Polish wall back 10 yards. Barnes is also there, lurking, as you can see, at the top of the picture. The wall reluctant to come back. Crucial moments this. 2 men in an English wall just ahead of Gascoigne. Gascoigne's free kick, it cannons off the wall behind for the corner. And Sharp continues to warm up. This time Barnes takes the corner. Adams going for it, Sheringham also, but it's too high for both of them. And a goal kick.
I should imagine the Polish coach before the match briefed his team, said whenever England have a set situation, set play, you have to be on your toes. Adams, Palmer, Sheringham, they're all particularly dangerous in the box and things like that. And they've got people like Gascoigne and Barnes that can deliver quality balls. And yet he must be laughing his socks off on the bench because with a couple of exceptions, we've hardly produced a decent ball. I mean, that was another first-class example, like one of John Barnes, is there? Never really put the threat on goal.
Barnes turning well, then heading it forward for Gascoigne, gets it back again to Barnes. There's a lot of space on the far side for Bardsley. And 4 waiting in the box for him, but that's a free kick. Now, who's going to tease this one in? John Barnes. 6-yard area is crowded, and Carlton Palmer knocked somebody flying there for a moment. Once again it's Barnes, and again it's Barnes. Let's look for a good cross now, but Shevchuk was again there, the sweeper for Poland. And away come Poland once more. Ball's out of play for an English throw. Gascoigne. Ince. Falls for Barnes, stabbed forward by him, but the whistle had gone. A free kick to Poland. And still England are a goal down. A little over 25 minutes of this game left. Shevchuk, long ball forward, straight to Chris Woods. Platt knocking it forward for Gascoigne. Slip at the crucial moment. Can Bardsley keep it going? Long cross coming in again towards David Platt. And now for Sheringham. It's the ball for Dorigo. Sheringham hitting it in once more towards Platt. And no foul. Just thought for a moment. Ince went roaring in there. Yes, the fun and games have started again. And that's just beneath us from our television gantry. It's like being in a war zone at the moment here. No foul on Ince, said the Swiss referee. England's remain a goal down. Sheringham, Shevchuk, up to Furtok. Think forward again. Walker, his pace got there that time for him. And although it's on this side, close to where the English fans are, my belief is that English fans are not involved again. Cross comes in, he's whipped a good one in there. Flicked away well by Paul Ince, and pushed away well by Woods. Kosminski is so close to making it number 2 for Poland, and Chris Woods flying across there to push it around. A great cross in here.
Yes, Paul Ince has done particularly well to just defend that ball. Unless Kosminski comes onto it, I don't think that he could possibly have seen it till late, Woods, and that is a superb save. I mean, you could virtually have written that off his game shot and match if that had gone in.
A corner for Poland. We're not out of the wood yet. Adams with a header, getting it away. Up to Gascoigne. Stabbed back to John Barnes. Forward now towards Sheringham. Oh, a good ball played by Sheringham. And Gascoigne leading the charge for England, but down he goes. But still they go on. Paul Ince was right up there in the end, the free kick.
That's
for the first offence.
one, hasn't he?
Yeah, for the first offence. I'm surprised that some of these Polish tackles are going unpunished as well, other than the free kicks. Here we are, it's Gascoigne again with a mask firmly in place to protect that old depressed fracture. Adams has gone up for this one. Can Barnes... Adams indicating to Gascoigne he wanted a little higher than that. Here's Barnes. No. Dorigo on a different wavelength. The throw to Poland. Inside the last 25 minutes of the game now.
I think the biggest single difference between the two sides has been the pace. I mean, they've got good technique and whatever, and they're defending resolutely. But when they support people, they got sprint pace. We've tended to, just be sort of jogging along, if you like. We haven't really exploded. Where they've exploded, they go with a purpose.
And Poland know if they win this one, they leapfrog over England. They go into second place in Group 2. And if England do indeed finish up on the beaten side here tonight, and there's absolutely no doubt about it, they simply must win in Norway on Wednesday. De Furta rounding his man nicely, and Dorigo battling away though with Adamczyk, and Bisa Adamczyk, and hits it forward towards Sheringham. Barnes picking it up again. No foul. A throw to Poland. Still no immediate sign of Lee Sharp coming on. Also wondering whether Ian Wright might get on. Ince. Back to Dorigo. Shevchik. And Ian Wright, I gather, is now warming up on the far side. Ince. Up to Platt again. Now for Barnes. Dorigo's gone forward for him. Now, we want a good cross in here. But it's gone beyond the main strikers. And Fortek right back there.
I think that's the sort of thing Graham Taylor would have been looking for in the first minute, not this late in the game.
And Ian Wright getting himself stripped now, ready to come on.
You know, the very fat Tony Dorigo there, what are we, 20 minutes from time or something like that, he's made his first positive run deep into their half and produced quite a decent ball, actually.
Long kick by Shevchik. Good jump by Walker. Carlton Palmer knocks it down again to Dorigo. Hit long by Dorigo. Platt now picks it up. A claim handball, accidental, said the referee. Tries to pick up Gascoigne on the far side. Ince trying to get in, ducking his head in where the boots were flying. And Poland coming forward again. Palmer, though, to the rescue for England. Gets it forward again to Gascoigne away on that right-hand side. Delayed his cross for too long. Lesniak. stopped by Walker. They think it's Carlton Palmer who'll be coming off. And Ian Wright, who comes on. Not scored for England as Wright in his 8 caps. What a moment this would be to break that duck. 30 goals for Arsenal. What we wouldn't give now for 1 for England. Carlton Palmer comes off. Your view about that one?
Amazed. I would have to say I was amazed at that. Because I was just thinking now he's sat there since half-time, and most of our best moments in the first half was when he was springing up in support. I know it left us a little bit bare in midfield, but I mean we have 3 or 4 other players in midfield to do some filling in there.
Dorigo getting it away, up to Barnes. Shevchik with the clearance again for Poland.
Obviously, David Platt's going to go back into his more natural role of sort of high inside right position, if you like, and surge from there. And Ince is pulling into a more central area as the anchor man.
It's Poland on the attack again. Furtok's in the middle here. Hasn't got a lot of support at the moment. Zanchek. Wright getting back. Walker with the challenge. Poland get the throw. And all the time, the seconds and the minutes are ticking away, and England remain a goal down. And Poland look as though they're going to bring on Eriksen, big defender. The trial with Leeds United. 26 years old with 7 caps to his credit, and it's Lejniak who's going off, who missed that chance right at the start, and another chance when Woods created his mistake early in the second half. Troubled face of manager Graham Taylor. Poland, the cross comes in. Adams hits it away high into the crowd on the far side. A throw to Poland.
I must say I can hardly remember in this half when we put 4 passes together, or even 3 passes together. And it is international football, and this is the cream of our country, and you would expect us to be passing the ball even at this stage with a little bit more composure than we're showing.
Coming in too high for Fortek, it'll go for Barnes. Hit towards Wright. An Arsenal-Tottenham combination up the front there, Wright and Sheringham. Now between them, can they produce the goods for England? Dorigo with the throw. Sheringham. Dorigo picks up Ince, knocks it forward now for Ian Wright. It's across to the far side towards Sheringham, but he was again surrounded by 3 defenders. Certainly have defended in numbers. Gascoigne getting it back for Dorigo. Flicking it through here for Barnes. Knocking it onto the far side towards Sheringham, but back goes there again, and Sheringham very strongly to the challenge he had. Looked to me as though Sheringham, in fact, aimed a kick at the defender there. Now, what had happened before to cause Teddy Sheringham to do that, I don't know. And there's another Polish player down. In fact, there are 2 Poles down. Ron?
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet as the ball's put in here that the defenders are jostling and making it very, very difficult for him to get at the ball. He probably feels that the defender's impeded him, so he can't get at the keeper there. But once again, new international has got to learn to sort of button his lip and just bite on the bullet, if you like, and then wait his time.
It's a tough, hard-working area of Poland, this, and they're getting a bit of cheer at the moment with their side leading by a goal to 0. and inside the last 15 minutes of this World Cup qualifier. The goal kick for Poland. I guess he'll probably make another substitution shortly, won't he, Ron? I mean, he's had Lee Sharp warming up fairly rapidly. Tony Adams there complaining that he was harshly done by Furtok, and a free kick to England.
I know it would be a very difficult decision, because sometimes you look at your quality, your genius, your flair players, but it looks as if one of those would have to come on.
Nigel Clough.
I mean, I would have thought Lee Sharp was stitched on. I know we said it earlier. I thought he should have been on earlier, but I would have thought he was stitched on to come on at this stage. I really can't see where Nigel Clough is going to play unless he plays in a straight swap for Teddy Sheringham, and I can't subscribe to that at all. Sheringham's looked our best chance of a goal.
Clough for Gascoigne, possibly?
Yes, I think I was about to make that point earlier, but I think Paul Gascoigne, who is undoubtedly a marvellous player, but isn't playing well at the moment. And to me, it actually doesn't look fit. I thought actually he'd have taken him off instead of Palmer.
Oh, it's not it in. It's Bardsley. Well, it comes all the way through for Wright. They haven't picked him up. Wright's done well. And the whistle had gone. The referee claiming it was a handball by Ian Wright.
Well, if ever there's a time for him to open his account for England, it's got to be now, wouldn't it? That's a very good opportunity, Stefan.
And a yellow card to Bacco for time wasting, presumably the goalkeeper. So Nigel Clough is coming on. Let's just see who it is going off. Our feeling is it might be Paul Gascoigne, in fact. They can't get Nigel on at the moment. Adams with a header. Back by Ince to Chris Woods. Bardsley. Oh, a complete miss kick there in the defence. Sviachevsky gets it away. That can't hold up Izanchek. Zminsky. And a goal kick. No, it looked a goal kick to me, but the referee's given a corner. And now the substitution will be made. Paul Gascoigne will come off. Still trying to attract the Swiss referee's attention to get Nigel Clough on. Frustrating that for England. They want to get their man on and just can't catch the referee's eye. And Vexen has also gone forward now for Poland. There's Gascoigne coming off, mask and all. And Nigel Clough will take his place. Creating something we hope just behind the strikers, but at the moment doing a job in defence. It comes through to Furtok, and unsurprising them allow that to go as far as that. Barnes jockeying over there. Sorry, Ron.
I'm also surprised he made a substitution when we're defending a corner.
Woods with a clearance. Too high for Sheringham. Right on the far side now. Adams has gone forward to support his Arsenal teammate. Now Bardsley will keep it going for England. Time running out and the goal is so important. Barnes couldn't get in there. Sheringham plays it in again. Then the player's gone down. I think it was Ian Wright who went down. The referee said no penalty, but it's a corner for England. Bacco in trouble. Clough will take this corner. Just hope this referee is going to add time on for all this time wasting. Loaded in there towards Bacco. Adams couldn't get to it. Dorigo touching it in again, but the whistle's gone for a foul on the goalkeeper. Gascoigne incidentally went off. Also had a cut, I was just going to say, had a cut leg. Really sharp on the left. Team doctor on the right, and really quite a nasty injury that Gascoigne's got there. Quite a severe cut. Very much withdrawn now, David Platt. Walker heading it back for Woods. Time running out. We're well inside the last 10 minutes now. A foul on Sheringham. Takes a bit of a buffeting there from number 5, Lesiak. They're waiting for Nigel Clough to come across and take this free kick. Matt's in there, Wright's in there. Adams is in there. A few elbows flying in there, a bit of pushing and shoving going on there. Delivered a good one in there, did Nigel Clough. Couldn't quite reach Adams with it though. Ince now trying to twinkle toes his way through, but the ball comes out to Furtok, who's got Sliachevsky up alongside him. But some good defending here by Tony Dorigo. At least he's got back there to hold things up for a moment. Certainly are excellent on the counter-attack, Poland. And their pace so often tonight has caught England out. Ince getting it forward. Sheringham can't get on the end of it.
They've given us a lesson tonight in actual fact in movement and pace, haven't they? I mean, their support play has been absolutely superb. They've sprinted to support people. They've sprinted back to help colleagues out. And England have been, for me, very, very, very predictable.
Walker gets it forward. Barnes takes it on the chest. At the moment, England taking it on the chin. Serchuk gets it away. Clough with a header. The Poles got above them all, but there was a foul. There must have been some pushing down and a free kick to England, but a way out. And Gascoigne's gone. There's no free kick possible for him, so Ince plays it wide for David Bardsley. The cross comes in from him. Kosminski gets it away. In again for England, this time Barnes. Now Dorigo, a little flick, gets it wide of his man. Barnes, another little flick, gets it up to Dorigo, crashes up ahead of him. Dorigo's cross, and Wright! And it's in there! And England are level!
Well, some superb quality up the left-hand side, some great joining up play from Tony Dorigo and John Barnes, and then that lovely slotted cross in. And as we said earlier, what a great time for Ian Wright to open his account. But all stems from some good play up the left-hand side between Barnes and Dorigo, and that lovely flighted ball. I think the Poles were actually trying to catch him offside. I think they thought Wright was going to be offside, but he certainly wasn't.
Well, the man who's been 8 caps before tonight has not scored, and it's become a bit of a phobia with him. Look at that, he's celebrating now. And a great ball played in there, and a super finish by Ian Wright. His first goal for England, and he's chosen the best possible moment to get it.
Certainly think they'll make strong claims that Wright was offside, you know. But for me, he came in on the blind side of the sweeper. Took his chance very well.
Free kick to Poland. Let's see what England can do here. Need to defend with determination and discipline, and hope that in the time that's left, it's about 5 minutes, they can yet produce something else at the other end. But first, there's defending to be done. Up goes Tony Adams, but doesn't get to it. It's Clough who gets it away. Lesiak. That comes away. Poland, when that goal was being scored, actually brought on Jaloka, another substitute. And here's Wright again, taking that little prodding pass from Nigel Clough. Bardsley forward. Well, there's a bit of relief for Graham Taylor now. What a moment for Ian Wright, though. For so long he'd gone in an England shirt and hadn't scored, Ron.
Yes, and I suppose there were a few startling eyebrows when he wasn't in the lineup at the beginning. But funny how things work out for you.
I think Graham Taylor probably felt that he wasn't totally fit. He's had these problems with his foot injury after the cup final. And he said, I think maybe he's in the best place here on the substitutes bench, but he actually said, what a wonderful insurance if we need him late in the game. And that's exactly the way it's turned out to be. Dorigo battling away. He's had a good game, Tony Dorigo. Holding up for Gozetsky. Wright. Clough again. Ince. Shevchik. Back heel. Kosminski. Adams with a header. So many times in Graham Taylor's reign, England have thrown away good positions and possible winning positions, but they've fought really well now in this second half. Still their form hasn't been all that good, but that bit of work there by Tony Adams really exemplifies the way England have played in this second half with a lot of spirit. Though Ron was saying predictable, quite right, but their spirit has never flagged.
And it'll certainly get better now, won't it, with the goal, the encouragement of the goal.
Adams again. Now, can England get a second one? Up goes Ian Wright. Dorigo coming for this one. Loses out that time. Poland can take it up again. Swiatkowski. Let's not concede anything here now, but Bardsley should be in control here, knocking it forward. Wright coming deep to pick it up. Free kick to England. David Platt. Sheringham couldn't quite flick it wide for Barnes. Adams. Oh, hits it straight though to the number 8, Adamchuk. Gozetsky. Coming to the last couple of minutes now, and a free kick to Poland, conceded by Tony Dorigo. All needs to be set up securely. Woods needs to be alert. England must give nothing away here. The big defender, Shevchik, coming forward once again. He hits a very fierce free kick. 2, 4, 5 in the wall, plus a pole. And no dangers with that one. Overall view of the England performance here tonight. If they do snatch a point, it's going to be so vital, Ron.
Yeah, if it stays like this, a far better result than the performance. I haven't been over impressed with the cohesion of the performance, if you like. We've worked hard. No doubts about that score, but we haven't really looked inventive, have we? We've looked predictable, and our best, you know, from one of the few moments of quality play, we've scored. I mean, the link-up on the left-hand side between Barnes and Dorigo before the goal was super, and it was a lovely ball into the box.
It's a Polish throw here. The last few seconds now. Get it back to goalkeeper Bacco. He'll just bang it forward now and hope that the front men can do something for Poland. No. Taking it steady. Szachowski. Lesiak. And Dorigo content to get it back to Chris Woods.
I'll bet Lesniak is taking a little bit of stick on the bench now, don't you, for those misses?
Yes, two glaring chances that the Poles had, both falling to one of their best strikers. It's Lesniak, who's on the bench. Lesniak is still on the field, the defender. A throw to Poland. Playing time added on at the end of 90 minutes now. Graham Taylor was looking for 3 points from these two games. Here and against Norway. It's still so important that England win in Norway on Wednesday night, providing they can hold on to this 1-1 draw here that they've battled for in Katowice. And here coming in again. Max up to Sheringham. But the Poles are so quick getting back, having lost the ball. They got back so quickly. That time it was Kosminski. Back to Chris Woods. There goes the final whistle. It's a 1-1 draw with Adamchuk having scored for Poland just before half-time, and Ian Wright scoring that vital goal with just 7 minutes left. 1-1 the final score here in Katowice.
If you thought you'd produce the finest diesel in the world, wouldn't you ask a motoring journalist to write a word or two on it? The new turbo diesel from BMW.
Once upon a time, the diesel car was an unfortunate beast. Slow, noisy, smelly, and smoky. But the diesel has changed, and so has our diesel fuel. SO Diesel 2000 is a brand new diesel fuel that helps cut exhaust smoke, reduces noise, gives better fuel economy, improves performance, and helps make diesels of every generation cleaner, healthier creatures. SO Diesel 2000, a new generation of diesel.
Wright Guard with double protection. It works hardest when you need it most.
It's gonna be all right.
Grandad's just retired to a lovely little cottage. Well, it's a wee bit wishy-washy. Could use a little warming up. Of course, there is an easier way to add light and warmth to a room. New Crown Creams Emulsion. 6 subtle shades of light colour that'll make any room nice and cosy.
Oh, it's lovely. But it just needs a little,
Make your home your own.
No.
With Crown Cream.
That's a hell of a spider in there, mate.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Question is, what drongo is going to be stupid enough to go in and flush it out?
Anyone tell me where the toilet is, please?
The dunny's 50 yards down on your right.
Thanks.
Should have let him in on it, Bill.
Nah. You'll find out soon enough.
Bet he drinks Carling Black Label.
Carling what?
Carling Black Label. It's a pommy lager. Brewed at 4.1% for a fuller flavour. And because it's the #1 selling lager over there, you're never likely to get a sniff of it over here.
This could have given you a nasty blockage.
It's quiet now, isn't it?
Carling. No wonder it's #1.
Can you hear the BMW turbo diesel? Now can you?
The new turbo diesel from BMW.
Welcome back. Well, England getting a battling draw over there in Poland, and Jim Rosenthal has the England manager Graham Taylor with him.
Graham, you told us at half-time football was all about using their heads. What do you mean by that?
Using their brains. We ran around like headless chickens in the first half. I mean, you can't question this side's commitment at all, and it was there in the first half. But you can't just run all over the pitch and lose the shape of your team. And we were fighting a war in the first half and not playing a game of football. Now, we know these places are difficult to come to, but you cannot get yourself involved. You can't concentrate on the game if you're interested in retaliation. And once you start to use your head, at least we got a little bit, because it is an intense atmosphere.
Inspired substitution or just a little stroke of luck there, Graham?
Well, I mean, I think I have to say now and again, I fancied him 20 minutes. I did say that's the place to come off the bench. And I did tell him, I said, look, we'll give you 20 minutes to score your goal. So I'm pleased he did it.
Where do you feel?
Well, let's look at that goal. That was a key goal for Ian Wright. His first goal for England, and one, obviously, that he was desperate for.
It was a great little build-up, wasn't it? It was the first time, really, we put some passes together with Barnsley and Dorigo. And Dorigo's put in a smashing cross. Where the left-back was, I never know, but that's a difficult technique and skill. I mean, it was on the half volley. It wasn't a volley. It's a great finish, really, and pleased for the lad to get off the mark like that in a vital game.
As you see, it was a lovely little bit of skill down the left-hand side, and a great ball by Dorigo.
I think they were looking for offside, weren't they? But looking at the replay, I think he's just sneaked round the back and timed it to perfection, and he's kept his head well. A bit of luck with the goalkeeper. It didn't come off him and come out, but the technique was fantastic.
Right, well, Links Football on ITV Network will be coming up shortly, but first of all, we'll just take a quick look at Group 2. And there you are, England, in not a bad position, Glenn.
Yeah, we're still in that second spot, but obviously Norway's the most important game now. If we can get a win there, it'll settle us up nicely. But I think we were a little bit let off the hook tonight.
Do you think so?
Oh, I think so. With the misses that the Polish lad, was it Lesniak? I think really, you know, we were let off the hook.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Glenn, for joining me tonight, and good luck Monday at Wembley. From us here, bye-bye.